Hey guys! We're coming to you with our very last Friday announcement video, hoping this one actually gets out on a Friday. So we've had a few changes as the week has gone on. If you've done camp before, you might or might not know that we tend to get changes the week before camp with our campers every year. Sometimes they're changing houses, so we have to change who's picking up, who's dropping them off. In this case, we have to change where we are going.
Yep.
So we've had a few changes. Most of them aren't going to affect too many people yet. We still have a couple that are up in the air, even though it's Friday and we're delivering them on Monday. We're trying to pinpoint the stuff. If there are more changes, we'll let you know. So first things first, we've had a change of the beginning of our route. I did send out an email saying that Haven, who was in Omaha, got adopted, which is fantastic.
Awesome.
But she got adopted and left town on Tuesday, so we took her box to her on Sunday, and we got a group of people together to go over there, and it was good because we kind of got to do a bit of like a dry run to see what it was like, and we learned a few things, which is good. And also that means we will be starting in Lincoln, not in Omaha, but we left the times the same since we'd already contacted the parents and given them a window. We didn't want to push all those windows back by or forward, back, whatever, by an hour and start at 7:30. So technically we're going to start at 8:35. We'll be at our Lincoln campers house.
Yep.
We are going to meet at 8:10 at Calvary Community Church in Lincoln. The address is going to be on the form that is linked down below, the one that says Caravan 2020.
It's on First and Superior, though. You could just put that in Google.
First and Superior in Lincoln. It's right on the corner. If you need to meet people there and leave your car there all day, it'll be totally fine. There are people there at the building. Your car is going to be safe. We will plan to be there between 8:10 and 8:25. What we're going to do is we are going to give the counselors their stuff at that time. So yes, come. We will get your stuff together. But most importantly, we are going to give you everything you need for your camper so that you're not like waiting in front of your camper's house thinking, where's my stuff? Oh no. You will have all the stuff you need.
Yep.
We will go over in a couple minutes what that stuff is, just so you guys know what it is. Now we have 3 routes that we're going to be following. So everybody is going to go to Cheyenne's house in Lincoln. We're going to drive past, we're going to honk our horns, and all of that fun stuff. Then our north group will leave from Cheyenne's and they will go north. I have a few cars I've already assigned to this north group. Basically, it's going to be for Kevin and Hannah, so it'll be their counselors and a few other cars. They will go to David City, and then they will meet back up with the West Caravan, probably around Aurora.
We're not sure yet, but
we're not really
probably
sure.
Around
around Aurora. Then we will have our west group, which will get onto I-80, and we will go to Beaver Crossing to one house for 2 campers there, and then we will proceed to York. So the south group, when we get to York, is just going to go south. They're not going to go to the camper's house there in York.
Yep.
They're just going to go south because they have 11 campers to get to, and they need to get booking. The first place you're going to stop is Fairmont, and then is another town, I'm forgetting, starts with the B. Then you're going to go west, and you're going to go to Hastings. That one has, I think, 3 locations and like 7 kids. And then you're going to hit Doniphan. Doniphan is on the way to Grand Island.
Yep, it's going north.
Yes, so that's going to be the south route. The south route is going to be run by Coach Mandy and Coach Mark. They will have the directions, they'll know where we're going, and they will also have the phone numbers to call or text the parent 5 minutes before we get to their house to make sure that the camper is there.
We're going to take a small break before Grand Island, so the west group that was going through York is going to hit that York location, then Aurora, Grand Island. Somewhere in there we'll have a break for food and drink and gas and things like that. Hopefully around that time the north group will have been able to meet up with us. We'll try and coordinate that. Blessed are the flexible here, because we will probably have at least 1 group, maybe 2, waiting around for 15 or 20 minutes while we meet up, but it should be at least close. But we'll let you know the day of in the Marco Polo app.
I do have our final times in that page that is listed down below. They didn't really change that much, so that's the good news. A few of the names changed, but none of the times really changed.
So counselors, the thing you need to know is you're going to show up in Lincoln around 8:10 at Calvary Community Church at First and Superior. You will have a stuffed animal and you will have a sign for your camper. Those are the 2 things you're required to have. Everything else will get to you in that church parking lot. We'll divvy up.
And don't forget your stuffed animal or sign, please, because we will not have time for you to go to Walmart and pick one up. So please remember the 2 things you need to bring is a stuffed animal and a sign.
So the other thing that everybody needs to bring, so counselors are bringing a stuffed animal and a sign, but everybody needs to bring some PPE, personal protective equipment. You need to have masks. The masks need to be able to cover your nose and mouth, whether it's a bandana or a cloth face cover, whatever it is. Now, there might be some places we might not have to wear those things. However, we are going to assume that everybody that is going to get within like 10, 12 feet of the kids, we are going to want to be wearing those things. We need to make that assumption going in. If the parent is like, oh no, we're fine and you can whatever, maybe you still need to wear that mask so you aren't thinking, oh, what if I'm passing something on to this kid? We're still probably going to wear them, okay? If you are approached by a kid and they try to get a hug from you or something like that, you will have a mask on and you'll be careful with it to give them that side hug, and that way you're not going to be worried about infecting them if that does happen. We need to be very respectful, not just of the community standards that they have for personal protective equipment, but also the parents and that family, that community group, whatever their standard is at the time for safety. We're going to bring as much as we can to make sure we meet the maximum standards, and if it's slackened at all, we'll know when we get there, and I still want you guys to plan on wearing those things. Only exception, if you are some of the people that are just in the cars, driving by in the cars, or you hop out quick and wave and yell and scream or whatever, you don't have to wear those things because you're 20, 30, 40, 50 feet back. That's fine. Those people don't have to, but everybody needs to plan on wearing those things.
So like I said, we saw Haven and we did learn a few things from that interaction. The first thing we learned is we need to have our counselor at the door before our caravan goes by.
Yes.
So what you're going to do is we're going to have you can park on the street and be in front of the house or a half a block away, whatever you prefer. You're going to gather up all the goodies that we're going to give them. And let me tell you, you're going to need a helper. You're going to need at least one staff there to help you carry all the stuff we're giving to the kids. And we can text you when we're ready or get on the Marco Polo app and say, okay guys, we are right around the corner, and then you're going to go up to the house. The camper is going to come out. We are not going in the houses. We're standing on doorsteps. I think if we have a couple of apartments, we will make arrangements there. But as far as the houses go, bring them to the doorstep. They may just stand at the door with the door open. Or they might come out and stand in the yard. We don't know. And we want them out, and then the caravan will start. We want you to blare camp music. We want balloons. We want posters. We want
honking,
cheering,
yelling,
honking, all that. Now, if you want to hop out of the caravan and park for a minute and stand there and cheer for them and so they can see you, especially if it's a camper that you're like, oh, I put them to bed last year. I totally want them to see me. That is totally fine. Be prepared to hop back in. But that caravan, the whole point is the caravan's going to keep moving.
Slowly maybe, but keep moving.
Because some of these roads we're going to be near maybe high traffic areas. That's possible.
Yep.
Or we might have a harder time. It could be a trailer court. We're not 100% sure on all of these. But we are going to do our best with that. So we need the counselor there first, and then the caravan will come by. So we're going to be juggling multiple counselors at a time.
Yep.
Especially once we hit Grand Island. So when you get there, you're going to give your stuff to your kid. You're going to give them 2 boxes. If you guys didn't notice, some of these amazing boxes back here. So these are the personalized boxes that have the camper's name on them, and then we will have their birthday box underneath it. Yep. We will also have a backpack for them. This one is from Peace Lutheran, and it has school supplies in it.
It's got a ton of stuff.
And yeah, one of the hygiene kits with the towel and the soap and all that kind of stuff. The other backpack, this one has multiple t-shirts in it. I think 4 or 5, a minimum of 5 shirts. If they're grad, they're getting a 6th shirt. It has their Ranky hoodie in it. It has their playaway, their Bible, a couple of a devotional and some activity books.
And it's got their name on it as well.
Has their name on it, yes. So when you pick up your stuff in the morning, you'll pick up a specific box and a specific bag with your camper's name on it.
Yep.
And you'll pick up a generic backpack.
These are all the same.
Yes. And we have some that are kind of like purple ones for girls and other ones for boys. If your camper's not going to care, then take whatever. Right. And then we have girl boxes and boy boxes as far as the birthday gift goes. We also have bouncy balls that we got from Peace Lutheran. They're like this big. They're like the size of my head.
They're the fun 4 square ones, basically.
Yeah, they're pretty great. So you're going to have to carry all of that and then see your kid and physically overwhelm them with all of their stuff. And they're going to be excited and they're going to be a little stunned. Some of them know we're coming, some of them don't. So some good things that you can say to your kid. Start by telling them what's in the boxes. When you hand them the box, say, this is camp in a box. so that you'll have camp all week long. We have videos on YouTube as well for you to watch, so you can have a week of camp. And we have your birthday box, and we have backpacks that are full of goodies just for you.
It's important also if there's an adult there, so like a parent, that you're kind of communicating it to the parent as well, because the kid's going to be overwhelmed. It's going to be a lot of stuff. Make sure the parent knows, hey, the YouTube videos and this is Camp in a Box. Those are the two main things.
We'll probably be emailing out the parents on Saturday and Sunday and saying, hey, here's the YouTube link just in case. They should be able to type in RFKC GI York and find that YouTube channel.
Yep.
We'll actually list it in this email too if you guys want to go subscribe. That way it's easier to find if people are subscribed to it. But we will go ahead and also post a couple of the videos if you guys want to watch them in advance so that you two can see the videos.
There's some really good ones.
They're making me cry. Every time I watch them, I'm like...
There's some really good videos.
They're really, really good. Timber and Becca and Adam, amazing, amazing.
So one thing we did find out when we went to Havens, it's a little awkward with some people back cheering and yelling and then some people right there in their face. It's hard to know what to say or to progress the conversation. So the best way to start is, hey, I love you. It's so good to see you. It's great. That standard stuff you would say at camp. So that excitement, once you're done with that, you can say, hey, and we've got all these goodies for you. So here, this is a cool backpack for you. This is camp in a bag and in a box. Now, this is your birthday box, okay? Now, there's all these videos that you're going to watch. Now, again, that's a lot of stuff to throw at them. You need to be throwing at them and the parent or guardian that's there. Talk to them about those things. Or there's this cool thing. It's the talent show. Maybe you submitted a talent show video. Or there's a critter video that if they like the animals, there's a critter video. There's Breakfast Club. There's drama. There's all these cool things. The Bible story. This cool stuff that they can look at that you can say, oh, be looking forward to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Get them psyched up for watching those videos and for playing with the different things in the backpacks and things. Anything beyond that, make it natural. If you're like, I don't know what else to say, or they just seem to be kind of stunned, you don't need to draw this out. It could be 2-3 minutes that you're there with this camper, and then you might leave. You might be there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if you're the counselor with this camper. The caravan will keep going, you can catch up, but make it natural. Be honest, speak from the heart. If you're like, oh, it's so great to see you. Man, oh, these are some cool things, and how you been doing? What we do want to avoid, there's a couple things we want to avoid. Avoid asking about like rough times maybe that they're going through. If anybody that they know got the coronavirus.
Don't bring that up.
If somebody has been, involved in the protests or something like that have recently been coming up. It's not that these things aren't important or haven't affected these kids' lives, but just like when we do camp, that's separate, and we're wanting to focus on the good and give them hope and give them a fun time, a fun camp experience, the best that we can right now. And the way to wrap it up, because a lot of people, that's what's awkward for them.
Yeah.
The way to wrap it up is to say, well, I love you a lot, buddy. I love you a lot, Sophia or Alex or whoever it is. And don't say, and I'll see you at camp next year, because that automatically in your brain, for some of you, even if they're a graduate, you're going to be thinking that. Let them know you love them, that God loves them, and you're excited for them to experience camp in this way. Those three things. You love them, God loves them, you're excited for them to experience camp, okay? Have an awesome time with it, okay? Like, leave with that. And that's very hard, especially because some of them, maybe you will get to see them next year, but maybe you won't.
Sometimes
we don't know.
We can't find them.
We don't know. Don't assume
thing.
it. Don't assume that you're going to. And leave on that high note, whether it's hard for you or not. They're leaving on a high note because they're like, ooh, good, you can go. I've got all this cool stuff to look at. Keep that in mind. This kid's going to be really excited that they got to see you. If they're bummed and like, no, wait, stay, whatever. Say, sure, what do you want to do? They might say, I want to play catch with you, or whatever. Or I want to look at the things in the camp bags with you. That very well could happen with some of you, and you can go through that with them. That's completely fine. Again, make it natural, and then wrap it up, catch up with the rest of the caravan.
You will need to have a second staff member or another counselor there with you as well.
Yes.
You won't be alone with the camper. Even if you're on the front lawn, you will not be alone with the camper.
Right.
And also be aware of whether you or anybody else in your car needs to be at another house sometime soon. So you may want to spend 30 minutes with your camper, but if you're like, ooh, I have another house and 2 houses, try and make it 6 minutes and make it the best 6 minutes you can. But you need to be mindful of the time, but also keep it organic. I know it's a balancing act. And if for some reason you're like, I'm trying to leave and my kid is having a massive meltdown, you can message us and ask us for help, and we can see what we can do. But to be honest, again, your flexibility is really going to be important here, because there's so much we don't know and there's so much up in the air. The whole point of this caravan is so our kids do not think they were forgotten.
Yep.
That is the point.
So we love them.
We love you. We did not forget you. And God loves you. This is what we need to keep communicating with our kids over and over. I do also want to prepare you for some of the things you might see when we get to the houses. The house might be super messy, or the living conditions might not be great. They might be wearing clothes that are dirty or don't fit them well, or shoes that don't fit or have holes in them, or no shoes at all. Whatever it is.
People smoking. You don't know.
Whatever it is, you need to not react. The kids will 100% notice if you go, hey, buddy. They're going to notice that. Even though that was exaggerated. They're going to notice that. They're going to notice the shifting of eyes, the tight holding, the uncomfortable stance. They're going to notice that. So keep yourself open and smile, even if you have to paste a mask on your face.
You'll probably be wearing a mask if you're that close to them.
That's
so perfect.
true. It can cover up a lot. So focus with the eyes, I guess, that you're not going to be like judging them, making them feel bad about their situation or anything like that. Also on that note, we are going to their houses, which means you will see where they live, like the numbers on the house. You will see addresses.
No.
You will not see addresses.
Oh, what are you talking about?
You will forget addresses.
Huh?
You will never know where that camper lived ever. You won't remember the house. You won't remember the neighborhood. You won't remember the address.
Selective amnesia.
You will never send them a piece of mail, a birthday note, or anything ever. You will never go to their house again. You forget. No more address. And I know that sounds a little silly, but again, if any of us break this rule, we go back to a camper, we can like not have camp anymore. Like they can shut us down. So part of the agreement of you coming here is I will forget where my camper lives. Forget where your camper lives. With love. Like we said last week, we also want to prepare you guys in case a camper is not there. Don't freak out. Stay calm. And we will try and find the camper. Yep. We will try and find where they are. The chances of them being in that town at a different house?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So we can probably go and find them at that time. Worst case scenario, we will deliver the box at a later time. Whether it's the next day, the next weekend, 4 days later, whatever it is.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. So don't freak out. Don't have a huge emotional response. Just kind of, and save it for the car, please.
So the last 3 things that we need to talk about are dress code, wear camp clothes, shirts, shorts that go to the knee or just above.
We will bring you shirts.
Jeans, things like that. Just wear super modest clothes. If you're not sure, be more modest. You'll be fine. Guys and girls alike. Just wear camp clothes. Next, Marco Polo. Marco Polo is the app that we're using. If you're like, I don't want to get that, I'm just going to stick with the caravan, that's totally fine. You can do that. If you would like to be part of the whole Marco Polo group, though, I'm going to duplicate on Sunday. I'm going to duplicate whoever is in there now, going to duplicate that group and migrate people over, specifically people that are supposed to be on the caravan with us. And those people will be in the Marco Polo caravan group.
And that's how we're going to communicate, do addresses, stuff like that.
Yep. So keep that in mind. Also keep in mind Marco Polo can drain your battery a bit. So make sure you would want to anyway. Bring a charger, bring a pack, whatever. Yeah, keep your phone batteries charged. Okay. The last thing is cell phone usage. We do want at least one of you when you're going up, not the counselor who's talking to the kid, but one of you who's going up is going to hold the cell phone like this. Okay, so not vertically, don't do any vertical filming, but you're going to hold it like that horizontally, and you're going to film, and you're going to upload to that Dropbox that we've had you uploading stuff to. You're not going to do anything else with that footage. It goes literally nowhere else except for that Dropbox. If we can't use it for some reason, we won't. Don't worry about that. You just worry about getting the footage that you can. Mm-hmm. That's it.
It will never go on social media or anything like that.
So that's it. If you have any questions, as always, about any of that, feel free to contact us, email, text, whatever you need to do. Otherwise, we just look forward to seeing you all on Monday.
Bye. Stuck in the middle with us.
I already said that.
Blah.
If they mess it up, we won't let them come back to camp.
Blah.
You give me one thing at a time to say, and I can do it. That's great. Just like at camp. Tell them this. Okay.
And then you pant like a dog.
Yep. Run up to the microphone.
And then I go, good boy, good boy. You're so good.
The dogs are jealous.
Temperance is like, you're
Petting
telling
him.
him he's a good boy.
Ooh. Don't put that in the outtakes.
I'm not going to work with him. We'll figure out what I forgot when I'm done with the video, won't we?
Will we, though?
Won't we, though?
Mm.